I talk about this all the time, and actually something that I heard a couple of people bring up while we were asking what are people struggling with and what is it that people are looking for is trying to figure out, how do I create videos that actually get people's attention? How do I create content that people actually care about that makes them stop scrolling and actually pay attention, right? So here's the interesting thing. And basically all of your videos that you create, if you're creating videos, not even videos, really everything you do should talk about at least one of the three following things. It's what your audience wants, it's how they can get it, and what their life is going to be like after they get it. Those are the only three things. You need to make sure that every time you create any sort of video, any sort of content, that you focus on at least one of those three things in your videos. Now, I have this thing that I do called the airplane test, and this is something that will make this process really, really easy. And it has to do with when my wife and I went to Cancun a couple of years ago. So we went to Cancun and we booked a travel agent, right? Because we don't, it's a foreign country and I don't speak the language and I don't want to screw this up, right? So we called a travel agent. We said, hey, listen, we want to go on vacation. And the travel agent was like, okay, perfect. Here's the resort you guys need to go to. It's an adults only resort. It's your room is right on the beach. You walk out the door and your feet are right in the sand, and then you can go to your own private cabana and they bring you all the drinks you want. The entire resort is unlimited food, unlimited drinks. You have your own plunge pool. You have a butler. You have all this really, really cool stuff. But do you know the one thing that the travel agent did not tell us about? She did not tell us about the plane ride. She didn't tell us about the airplane. And the reason why is because nobody wants the plane ride. Nobody wants the vehicle, they want the destination. So if you are a personal injury attorney, no one wants to sue anybody. No one wants to go to mediation, but they want to get their health back. They want to get money for their injuries. They want to make sure that they can provide for their family. That is the resort, right? If you're a bankruptcy attorney, nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. Nobody's just dying to file for bankruptcy. Nobody's dying to have a divorce. But what they're looking for is they're looking for the result. They're looking for the result of being able to get rid of all their debt, or at least have an affordable payment, or get the bill collectors to stop calling. And if you really go deep into it and you start looking at individual people's whys, maybe it's a situation where it's a husband and they live in an apartment right now because they can't get a house, and his two sons are 8 and 9 years old and they're both sharing a bedroom and they're fighting constantly and they're driving him crazy, and his wife is always complaining that she wants a bigger kitchen and a nicer house and all that type of stuff, and he's tired of driving a crappy car. That is what you focus on. You don't focus on the bankruptcy. Nobody wants a bankruptcy. So that's the biggest thing, is that you always want to ask yourself, when you're doing any sort of content, always ask yourself, does this pass the airplane test? Am I talking about the vehicle, which nobody really wants, or am I talking about the resort, which is the thing that they actually want? And if you focus on that, if you focus on the resort and what their life is going to be like after they get to the resort, then you are going to have so much more luck with all of your marketing.
Yeah. So, and this is what makes me cringe when I see people create the car accident lawyer podcast, the divorce lawyer podcast. They hear like from Gary Vaynerchuk, I have to create a podcast. And then they just go and take whatever their practice area vertical is. And then they go, let me create a podcast on that vertical. But what you do is actually a barrier to what people want. I'll say that again. Did everyone catch that? I'm just making sure that, like, this is it right here. This is way more important than any tactic, right? What you provide is an actual obstacle to what your clients want.
I got a quote for you. If holes dug themselves, no one would ever buy a shovel. Right, go ahead.
So guys, this is the absolute key. So when I see some of these videos on social media, a lot of you don't have social media ads working right now. Can I get some hand raises if your social media ads aren't working to your expectations right now? Can I get some hand raises if your social media ads aren't working to your expectations right now, or you want them to work better? Okay, here's the key. Here's the key. You are saying things in your social media content that makes you feel good, but not what makes your client feel good. That's really it, guys. So it's all about you-ifying. Write this down, guys. You-ify. Y-O-U-I-F-Y. YOU-IFY everything. So Stuart Samwise, for example, he came up with a podcast called Ditch Your Debt. He came up with a brand epiphany. It's around ditch your debt. It's not around bankruptcy lawyer podcasts. Who would ever be interested in that? Right? If you guys are personal injury or criminal defense lawyers, okay, you need to start focusing on what people want. So the focal point of just wanting to get in front of the perfect leads is actually killing you. This myth you have in your head that I can just get the attention of the exact clients that need me exactly when they need me at the right time, at the right moment, in every place is literally what's holding you back. Let me get a raise of hands real quick. How many of you, if you were offered an interview on Oprah, would you accept it? Yes or no? Raise your hand if yes, you would accept an interview on Oprah. Yes? Okay, you would accept the interview. What percent of Oprah's audience would be an imperfect fit for a car accident case in your market at the time of the interview? Yeah, Carmen got it right. Less than 1%, probably a decimal of a decimal of a decimal of a decimal, right? You're limiting yourself from getting PR. Okay, and PR is the answer. It's enough of this niche myth. Okay, you guys need to get known. You need to get what?
Known.
Okay, the battle cry is I got to try whatever the heck I need to try to get known. Right? So we need to try YouTube videos. We need to try Facebook ads. We need to try Google ads. We need to try YouTube ads. We got to try all these different things. And then we're going to figure out little slices of what works, right?